the smart economists and business people as well. So let's continue to listen to the smart people, but let's listen to more different smart people. I will put this in the form of a baseball analogy, okay? I love baseball. You can put anything in the form of a baseball analogy, in my opinion. You've got your starting pitcher. Who were the doctors? Okay. And we did what the starting pitchers suggested. The starting pitchers say, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to continue to prevent the other team from getting runs. And so far we've done that. And so far we've been pretty successful. Okay. It's the sixth inning. Starting pitcher's still doing pretty well. We've still prevented them from getting some runs. In other words, the opposition has only gotten 2 runs in 6 innings. So that's an ERA of about 3. No, yeah, it's an ERA of about 3, which is a good ERA. In other words, the starting pitcher has done the job. But you've not gotten any runs either. In other words, the economy's shut down. So you're losing 2-0. And the pitcher comes up to bat. Now, do you stay the course and let the pitcher strike out with the bases loaded? Or do you pull the pitcher, put in somebody else with the hopes of getting a hit and scoring some runs, with the hope that the next pitcher you put in, he's part of the team too. He's going to pick up where the other guy left off. You've got to change the plan. You've got to pull the pitcher, and you've got to try and get some runs. The way this country has always beaten every obstacle we've had is to take our economic juggernaut, the biggest one in the history of humanity, and put it to work. We need to start putting it to work again. Not all out, slowly but surely, with monitoring to make sure we're doing the right thing. That's what we need to do. Continue to flatten the curve, not stay at home like a bunch of little ninnies saying, I'm afraid I'm going to get the coronavirus. I'm staying at home until there's a vaccine. Now, if you want to do that, go ahead. That's your business. I'm not doing that. Now, I wear a mask every time I go into public. I have sanitizer in my car. When I get back in the car, I use hand sanitizer. Okay. I have not felt bad, so I'm still going to work. I keep social distancing at all times. Sometimes you can't. If you got 2 guys looking over a drawing, you got to get fairly close, but we have masks on in our place of employment. I'm not going to a barber to get a haircut because I don't want someone that close to me. So I had the trophy wife cut my hair, and so I've got a buzz job. I got a number 4 all over. It doesn't look that great, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. If you want to go to a hairdresser or a barber, you can. I'm not. Everybody has to use their own judgment. But just understand, if you're sheltering in place, and if you're a retiree sheltering in place, that's fine, because you're getting a check from the government for your pension or your Social Security or your both. And good for you, you've earned it. But if the money runs out in government and they decide to say, hey, look, we don't have any money left, so you're taking a big haircut in your Social Security and your pension, what happens then? If the state of Missouri runs out of money and they just cut your pension, they can do that, friend. If the U.S. government decides to cut Social Security, they can do that too. If the economy doesn't get rolling again, then everybody is going to suffer. So let's get back to work. Slowly but surely, but eventually, let's get back to work. And whenever we can test, whenever we get a vaccine, whenever we know more numbers on who's asymptomatic and who's not, it may be to the point where, wow, 65% of the people have already gotten the coronavirus, and you can't get it again. So there's really no need to have a vaccine. That could well happen. In fact, it's going to happen eventually. Herd immunity and a vaccine, it's kind of the same thing, just a different way of doing it. One's natural and one is man-made. Okay? Hey, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. That's my 2 cents on the coronavirus and what we need to do to make it to part 2. Send me an email if you agree or disagree or just want to comment. I love getting emails. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. That's my email address. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. Send me your comments. Send me your questions. I do respond to my emails. Or if you share the podcast with a friend, and if the friend likes it, ask him to subscribe. You can subscribe to sending your email to JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. I will go ahead and put you on the mailing list, and I will send you a link to the podcast upon publication. You can also hear me on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Twitter, Facebook, TuneIn, Radio Online, the podcast app, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, CastBox, SoundCloud, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Spreaker.com. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Everybody have a great weekend. Until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.